I was chief of staff to a city council member during his 8 years of office. I was executive director of Metropolitan Pima Alliance, vice president at Sun Corridor, which is our regional economic development organization, which I know the Tech Parks Arizona works very closely with, particularly on working with companies that are looking to expand or relocate into our region. And for the past 4 years, I've been here at the chamber, and the board appointed me as CEO back in January. So a little bit about the chamber. So we are an organization that's been around for 126 years. In 1896, we officially incorporated as the Tucson Grocers Association. I have no idea why the grocers needed an organization at that time, but they felt that they did. And so they established, and then soon after the turn of the century, we were changed into the Tucson Chamber of Commerce, and then ultimately the Tucson Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce, and now the Tucson Metro Chamber. So we are the Chamber of Commerce that serves the entire region. The way I like to describe ourselves, we are 3 C's. We are a connector, we are a catalyst, and we are a champion. So I'll go through each of those. So as a connector, we connect businesses with leaders and influencers, and we connect businesses with each other. So as a typical Chamber of Commerce does, and there are a number throughout the region that do something similar, we have events, we have networking events, we have mixers, we have other larger events where the goal is to get our members and the business community to sit down with leaders and influencers to help address policy issues or issues facing the business community. We have a monthly event called Interface, as well as issues with a twist. Those are both policy oriented, and those are and actually we held our last one at the refinery earlier this month, or sorry, at the end of last month, and those are policy-based discussions. So we bring in again those leaders that can talk about policy issues with our members and have our members directly interact so that we can ultimately come up with some solutions. And of course, we also have events that are purely networking so that we can get businesses to be introduced to one another, and with the ultimate goal of them to get to know each other as well as to potentially do business with one another. We are a catalyst, and that's really kind of new. And what we really do as a catalyst for our community is focused on our workforce development efforts. So last summer, we launched actually, now that we're entering fall, I need to amend this. In the summer of 2021, we launched our workforce blueprint. And this was, we worked very hard and diligently on this blueprint, and it contains 5 recommendations on how we, the chamber, could play a bigger role and move the needle on workforce development issues. So I'll give you some examples. One of the recommendations relates to building a better IT talent pipeline. So we have what is called as the Move It Up campaign. And we're actually working with AZ Cyber Initiative, with Pima Community College, with University of Arizona, and with others. And actually Verizon is a sponsor of this initiative to create a training lab for the further development of IT professionals. Because whether you're Raytheon or your Banner or a small business, IT needs are absolutely critical. And so we have put this campaign together to do just that, to have a focus on IT needs and to build that IT pipeline. Similarly, we also have another recommendation that relates to making sure that we're getting employers engaged in the classroom. And we're working on a pilot program right now with Sunnyside School District, where we are working with those particular employers and getting them into the classroom so that the kids in the Sunnyside School District, particularly middle school and high school age students, have a better understanding of the types of job opportunities and positions that exist literally right down the road from their homes. So it's a great partnership with Sunnyside School District. and we're very excited about that. And we plan to take that to other school districts as well as we get past the sort of pilot program stage. There are other initiatives that relate to our workforce development efforts. We also have sector partnerships. So we have a sector partnership in the construction industry. We have a sector partnership for the healthcare industry. And later this fall, we're going to be launching our sector partnership in the mining industry. So we've kind of discovered these gaps in our community of groups that are obviously very important to the economic well-being of our community, and industries that we really play well in and are kind of targeted industries. So we wanted to create sector partnerships so we can bring those employers together to have those important workforce development discussions. So we're very excited about those particular efforts. And again, just a big focus on workforce development, because again, it doesn't matter how large or small your business is, everyone needs great access to talent. I heard a very interesting statistic the other day that basically said that our engaged workforce is about 56% of our working population. The national average is 64%. So we're below the national average in terms of individuals that have the right skills for the jobs that exist in our community. And so we're working closely with Pima Community College to make sure that as part of their reskilling and recovery efforts, to find those adult individuals, get them into reskilling classes and getting them into positions, or at least arming them with the right skills for the positions that exist within our community. Lastly, and I sort of saved this for last because for the past 126 years, this has been the most important aspect of the chamber, and that is we are a champion. So we are a champion for the business community. We are the voice of business, and we are a bold advocate lobbying on behalf of the business community to support pro-business policies. So we have a great focus on local. We are constantly lobbying the City Council and the Pima County Board of Supervisors on issues related to the business community. In fact, we just had a public policy council meeting this morning, and we were speaking with the county attorney's office because there's a lot, and you may see this in and around the community. There's an increase in homelessness, and there's a significant increase in retail theft and property damage. And this is really affecting how effectively and efficient businesses can operate throughout our community. It is a big issue, and it's something that we at the Chamber are working to help solve. So we have a number of these conversations. I actually launched the Coalition Against Retail Theft in January, soon after I was named CEO. And this is a very concentrated effort on working with law enforcement, with Tucson Police Department, with Sheriff's Office, with the County Attorney's Office. Recently, we've brought in the State Attorney General's Office. We are working to find solutions to curb retail theft and property damage that are happening in and around our businesses. But we work on a lot of other issues. We recently lobbied the City Council on their EV readiness ordinance. This was something the city has been working on for the last year, where they wanted to mandate or require that any new commercial development be plumbed for electric vehicles. We certainly don't have a problem with that, but we did have a problem with were some of the percentages and the regulations that they were placing in that ordinance. So we worked very diligently with staff as well as the council to negotiate that particular ordinance, those code amendments. So that just gives you a flavor of the types of things that we work on. There's many more issues that we work on a very regular basis. But we are, as I said earlier, the voice of business. We champion small, medium, and large business issues in our community. And we are very proud of the work that we have done in support of our business community, because, and I like to say this all the time, a strong business community is a direct correlation to a strong community. Without a strong business community, we simply just cannot have a strong community. Whether it's businesses providing the goods and services that we need as a community, on down to the collection of taxes, so that government can collect those taxes and build our roads and expand our parks, hire more police officers. These are all very important things, but that starts with having a strong and economically viable business community. So some of the things that relate to to startups and to sort of the entrepreneurial side of things, we actually have done a couple initiatives recently. So we partner with Startup Tucson on providing services to those startups. We actually have a startup and students membership rate at $150 a year, and that's to help get startup companies into the door and getting involved in some of our events, meeting with other business leaders. So that's certainly a way that we try to assist the startup and student and entrepreneurial environment. We also recently partnered with the Community Investment Corporation on a BIPOC loan project. So CIC recently, I think it was about 6 months ago or so, unveiled their microloans to 15 BIPOC companies, and through that partnership with CIC, we actually donated memberships to the chamber, an annual membership to the chamber, to those 15 BIPOC businesses. So we do want to help out the entrepreneurial environment where we can. We want to learn from the entrepreneurs so that if there are challenges that they're facing, that we can become their champion, and making sure that we, whether it's from a policy perspective or a legislative perspective, we can assist in making Tucson and the state of Arizona a better and stronger environment for our startups and entrepreneurs. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I wanted to kind of give a